the show begin. Next generation for the win. We're going all in. All together now, let's begin. Let the show begin.
Take a seat. Let's call our first presenter up onto stage. Please join me in welcoming Woody Sears, founder and CEO of Autio.
All right.
Let's do this.
Back when the first iPhone came out, my 3-year-old son was like a moth to the flame. And I thought, if he's going to be spending any time with this device, I want the content to be something I feel good about as a parent. So we made the first library of narrated kids' books. We produced over 200 apps and 14 million downloads. And in 2014, iStorytime got acquired. As I took a bit of time off after the acquisition, I knew I'd land back in the founder seat. It was just a matter of when. And something that didn't change for me during that time was my love of stories. And I started to see a new opportunity to bring them to the world. As a kid, I took a lot of road trips with my family, and I get to take my own family on adventures. And when we're on those trips, we like to listen to music, podcasts, audiobooks. But when it came time to learning about the places we were traveling through, we ended up on our phones, Googling, Wikipedia. It ruined our experience. My name's Woody Sears. I'm excited to tell you about my latest storytelling venture. This company started off with a celebrity meeting, a meeting with none other than Kevin Costner, actor, director, storyteller extraordinaire. And when I sat down with Kevin, I asked him to imagine traveling the world and hearing the stories of the cities and the towns as you visit. Stories of victory and defeat, both shame and inspiration. The real history of all of these unique places. Just imagine being able to hear them at the perfect time based on your GPS location, like a tour guide for everything you see as you pass. Kevin paused only for a moment and then shared his own experience in making movies and all the stories that have yet to be told, yet very much deserve to be. Inside our product, we tell stories about history, culture, natural wonders, and more that entertain and engage travelers along their journey. We have over 22,000 content experiences, all told by professional narrators and world-class storytellers, like Kevin Costner, who's now one of our co-founders. And we have other amazing voices in the app as well. We have Phil Jackson talking about stadiums that he's coached in, as well as the destinations and the roads along the state of Montana. Georgiana Sanchez, Shumash elder, telling the story of her people coming from the Channel Islands to the central coast of California. John Lithgow talking about places important to his career and his life. Our business model is to create the platform that delivers these unique storytelling experiences and monetize through consumer subscription and B2B through our API, as well as sponsorship. Not only do people crave these great audio apps, but they're willing to pay for access. We're currently converting over 6% of our installs into paid members, resulting in over 50,000 subscribers and $2.2 million in subscription revenue with 85% gross margin. The market is massive with the $260 billion activities, tours, and experience segment. And we've formed impressive content partnerships with big names like Netflix and History Channel to really elevate the experience. We've been the recipient of App of the Day and Editor's Choice from Apple, and we won the Webby Award for Best Travel App. Our team is perfectly designed to execute on this global platform for local stories mission, along with my co-founder, Kevin Costner, my CPO, Kevin Norris, who's built streaming platforms for MLB, WWE, and Fox, and creative director Bryce Shawcross, who's built 3 multi-billion-dollar brands, including Tesla and Faraday Future. Our backers include Snapchat, AAA, Cooley, and iHeartRadio, and we'll be raising our Series A next year. As you all know, every place has a story. And now, every story has a place. And that place is Autio, and there are billions of people waiting to hear them. Thank you.
Well done, Woody. Way to kick us off. Take that, step over here.
All right.
Dragons, what do we think? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Looks like almost a home run. Lisa's a little skeptical. Let's start with Lisa and see what her skepticism is, and then we can jump around.
Impressive results in a very saturated space. Can you tell us a little bit more around your unit economics? How do you scale? How many downloads do you need to get in order to get to that revenue? And how long have you been at it?
Yeah, we launched in 2020, COVID summer, with 1,500 stories along the west coast of the US. And we've obviously been able to scale up our story production, launch the rest of the US. We'll be in 13 cities by the end of this year in Europe. And we just launched our beta in Singapore yesterday. The margins are very high, obviously. There's a lot of upfront costs in building the platform to be able to service all these areas and essentially deliver that experience of getting the story at the perfect time. And we have some patents around that really are a defensive moat. But yeah, a lot of those big investments have already been made, and now we've figured out ways to create the content much more economically.
Case?
Thanks a lot, very impressive. We talked a lot about stories and connected trips in the last 2 days. Aren't you planning to utilize AI capabilities by creating a connected trip based on the preferences? So if I'm a traveler, enjoy history, you can suggest to me and enable transaction besides subscription in your application. Are you thinking about this as a scale?
Yes, we're experimenting with that now. I mean, we're really in the business of creating these great experiences, and we started with these short-form clips of audio, and what we kept hearing from our customers is we were inspiring them to do activities along their journey, take a detour, add more onto their trip. So we now have itineraries built essentially for cities called guides, and they can link out to actually purchasing an in real life experience. Currently that's with Get Your Guide, and we take the commission on that, but early results are very promising.
Stephen?
So you have been on the real Shark Tank. There's the Shark Tank effect in terms of, for B2C companies in particular, in terms of spiking revenue after that. What have you seen, and with 2 million in sales, were you hoping to see more?
We've done quite a bit in the paid marketing testing, and now we're strictly organic in terms of how we're acquiring customers. So I think we're ahead of the game there. The Shark Tank effect was real. We saw a 10,000% increase immediately in installs. It's finding the way to. We've done a lot more with the price elasticity testing of recent too, and seeing different ways we can get people in at various price points. $20 versus the 40 plus that we were ranging in before.
Great, thank you very much, Woody.
All right.
Well done.
Thank you.
Next up, we have our emerging market scale up, Paul Malicki from Flapper. Paul, take the stage.
Thank you, Sam. Hi, everybody. Hi, everyone. My name is Paul, and I'm the founder of Flapper. And although I came from Brazil, I'm not entirely new to Southeast Asia. In fact, in 2013, I co-founded a local competitor to Uber and Grab called Easy Taxi. Well, after 3 years, we successfully sold this company. And the first question that came to my mind is, wow, exit. What do I do with all that money? Can I finally start flying business? It turns out that in Brazil, there is no domestic business class. Instead, we have more than 200 helipads in Sao Paulo and more than 700 private jets. The question is, how do you book one? The industry is highly fragmented. There's no automation, no transparency when it comes to relationship between brokers and clients on the other hand. And obviously, there's very little sustainability when it comes to thinking about the impact on the environment of private jets. I went to San Francisco on that year, and I heard the following phrase: business aviation is the last large sector of the economy which hasn't been digitalized yet. And that really inspired me to launch Flapper. The disruption must come now. It is the best moment to launch a similar business because people think differently. Pandemic, social media, it all made people rethink how they travel. There's also smartphone penetration, which has never been higher. Access to numerous tools and sharing economy has also entered into business aviation. So what's Flapper? Flapper is a marketplace designed for business aviation. Using a single app or website, you can either charter a private jet, a helicopter, or a corporate airliner. You can buy an individual seat on certain predefined routes, buy an empty leg. You can even buy an aircraft. But also, importantly, you can offset your carbon emissions. When it comes to on-demand charter, we currently accrue 2,600 aircraft available on demand through our platform. Individual seats are also available on certain routes, including Sao Paulo to Angra dos Reis in Brazil and elsewhere during high season. We are urban air mobility pioneers, having signed 6 operators of hybrid electric aircraft, including Supernal, a joint venture between Kia and Hyundai, and Eve, a spin-off of Embraer in Brazil. And our innovative SAF book and claim program allows you to buy sustainable aviation fuel anywhere in the world to offset your carbon emissions. So, no tricks, you actually buy fuel that will be put on another aircraft. The business model is really simple. We charge a fee on top of retail rate offered by the operator, and for shared flights, it can go up to 30%, but the average in 2023 was 15.6%. We are a seasoned team of experts. Before Rocket Internet, I joined Nubank and Farfetch on their pre-IPO phases, as well as MasterCard. Our CPO has spent more than 20 years, had spent more than 20 years at the likes of KPMG, Accenture, and Embraer, and my VP of Sales, my VP of Expansion, and CFO all possess between 10 to 15 years of experience in startups and corporates. Now, Latin America is a $2 billion opportunity, and that's where we started. Europe is currently our second largest market, and that's another $2.5 billion. The next step, Middle East. We estimate the market size to be around $1.3 billion. The entire globe, that's $25 billion, because the US is huge. Then there's Asia, but now the best part. If we make it available on demand, if we make a certain part of that availability on a pay-per-seat basis, and then if we electrify it in the future, we can increase the market size by the factor of 2.5. We have grown by an average of 48% per year on a CAGR basis, and we reached $1.2 million in gross profit last year after a slight drop from the pandemic. This year, we are already recovering 37% of that, and we are on a break-even. 2,600 aircraft registered, 1,977 active, and our user economics are super attractive. The LTV to CAC relationship is roughly 10. Competitive landscape, that's the US. Now look at emerging markets. There's almost nobody, then Flapper and a few traditional brokers. Few differentials, proprietary tech, cost structure. Thank you. No, but I'm well about to finish.
Paul.
We are raising $1 million in funding. Thank you.
So they are raising $1 million, was his last statement. So what do we think, Dragons? Couple greens, few reds. Roger, what do you think? You're looking to bring some private jets into Queenstown?
Thank you very much. Well, actually, I went to book a flight from Queenstown to Sydney, and it was $81,000 Australian. So it did rule me out. But are you selling to corporates or to wealthy individuals? Who are your customers?
55% is B2B.
Okay, and how do you reach them? What's your channel to market?
Well, these are travel agencies, OTAs. We try to integrate with them. And then there's a lot of just direct contact with hotel concierges, some associations for luxury businesses, etc.
Thank you.
Cara?
Yeah, I'm curious about the supply side of this. How are you securing the inventory? Are you taking inventory risk? And how do you kind of match that with the demand side?
Right. There is a safety vetting process for every single company and jet that we work with. So, for example, I'm here in Singapore. Yesterday, I went to the Seletar Airport, business general aviation terminal, and I met with all the operators that we want to work with. We checked, pilot experience, insurance plans, a number of factors related to infrastructure, financial background. There's a checklist that we follow, and then once this is done, we put them on the platform. So it is fairly manual, but that's also our competitive advantage.
Yeah, sorry, I meant, thank you for answering that on the security part, but I was referring to the inventory itself. Like, how do you get access to that inventory? Are you contracting with these jet companies and taking the risk, the inventory risk on that? How does that part work?
Yes. Long story short, yes, we register every single aircraft, and then when the request comes, we have to check the availability of every single aircraft.
Lisa?
But maybe as a follow-up, you're not pre-purchasing any inventory on those aircraft?
No,
so
it is on a as we go, so on-demand basis.
So then maybe as a follow-up to Cara's question, how do you manage the demand and the supply? And going back to basically your 80,000 Australian dollar flight, I'm sure that there are many searches on the site where you get results that are either empty or maybe irrelevant for what you are able to pay.
Right, because we see the price and all the details of the aircraft beforehand. Roughly 95% of the people that book or that search for an aircraft, they drop immediately because perhaps it's too expensive, etc., etc. The 5%, we do like validation of the client, and then we contact the operator once we have the client confirmed. So initially, it's actually funny. We started a seamless booking process. We had to take a step back, and we have to validate the customer before we send the request. And that's why all the operators love to work with Flappe, because they know that when our request comes, it's not an empty request. It's actually validated from the customer standpoint.
Stephen, anything from you?
My biggest concern is just that this is a red ocean, that I feel like I've seen multiple attempts to do digital charter services. So I'd be curious to see what you have learned from others in the past and their mistakes and that you would do differently.
Definitely a business model. In the US, the likes of Wheels Up, JetSmarter, they were just overly ambitious, trying to sell memberships or just pay-per-seat deals on a scale that is just impossible. So that's why we totally focus on on-demand charter instead.
Great. Thank you very much, Paul. Well done.
Thank you.
Next up, our European scale-up, Adrian Gonzalez Martin from Hotel Treats. Adrian.
Hello, everyone. So the first thing that I would like to do is to ask you if you see any issue with this picture. What you see is the restaurant of a 5-star hotel totally empty. And this is happening because for years, hoteliers have been exclusively focusing on selling rooms to tourists. However, while their guests are busy exploring the city, their expensive facilities, such as restaurants, rooftops, spas, are not generating the money that they should. And instead of being revenue-generating assets, they become expensive liabilities. But something is changing. This is a quote from the CEO of Accor Hotels, who recently said in a CNN interview that he wants to transform their hotels into the trendiest places of the city, and that the revenue generated by selling rooms represents just 40% of the total revenue of the hotel. And in Hotel Treats, we share this vision. In fact, that's why we started our company. So what do we do at Hotel Treats? In Hotel Treats, we sell experiences such as pool day pass, brunch, tasting menus, afternoon teas, spa access in the best luxury hotels. But instead of focusing on tourists, we mainly focus on the local residents that live at the doorsteps of the hotels that we work with. So on one hand, we help hoteliers to generate additional revenue by selling these services to a new target audience. And for the local people, we are the go-to platform to buy experiences, to treat themselves, to post on their social media, and also to buy their gifts, because these experiences are perfect to be offered as gifts. So how do we sell these experiences? First, through our own marketplace, hoteltreats.com, which is an aggregator of experiences where hotels send us the content. We do targeted marketing in the locations where we have the inventory, and we charge a commission between 15 to 18% for every sale that we made. And in addition to hoteltreats.com, we also have a white label solution where we remove the branding of Hotel Treats. We put the branding of the hotel, and we connect the shop to the website of the hotel. So they can sell their experiences, tours, gift cards, events, upselling to guests, pretty much everything beyond the room. In this case, Hotel Treats provides the technology, hotels do the marketing, and we charge them a commission between 8 to 10% for every sale that they made. And we are proud to say that we're the biggest provider in Europe of this service, working with massive hotel chains like the entire NH Group with all their brands, but also with a lot of independent luxury hotels. So in a nutshell, we have arrived here without any external funding. We have been self-funded and profitable since day one. We are currently working with over 1,000 hotels in 15 countries. In terms of growth, we have experienced a 40% growth year on year. In the last 12 months, we generated $5.5 million in sales. We are EBITDA positive, and for the next 12 months, we are on track of hitting $8.5 million. When it comes to the team, we are 16 people plus 2 advisors. We are 4 co-founders with a diverse background in sales, tech, hospitality, and we have a clean cap table owning 25% each. Regarding the main competitors that we have at the moment, we are in the leading position because of the hotels, because of the number of clients that we have in our platform, the revenues that we generate, the countries that we operate in, the type of products that we can sell, and most importantly, because of the technological solutions that we can offer to our clients. So what is next for Hotel Treats? We want to keep growing in the number of hotels and locations, but now that we have a solid and profitable foundation, we have set a very ambitious plan. We want to become the largest database of hotel experiences in the world, so we can then distribute this content through third major parties, like travel agencies or B2C platforms, like holiday rentals, where our content is simply perfect for them. We have seen a growing demand of this type of companies in the travel space for our unique experiences, and just as they are now all selling tours and activities, they will all be soon adding hotel experiences to their offering. And whoever controls the inventory would be in a unique position, in a position of power. That's why we have started securing content in the top 50 touristic destinations in the world. This is a winner-takes-all opportunity, and we want to be that winner. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adrian. Dragons, what do we think?
Lisa again. It's always Lisa.
Lisa.
Impressive. I love how specific this is and what you've been able to accomplish in such a small amount of time. But what is the maximum potential of this? Great as a business for now, but
I mean, you saw what the CEO of Accor Hotel said. I know that 40% is ambitious, but honestly, this is the category that is going to grow the most in the next years. We had the big bosses from Marriott and from Accor before. They were talking about loyalty, but they were forgetting locals. So one person that goes to your hotel to enjoy a breakfast and a spa, you can turn them into a fan, and when they travel, then it's a loyal client. So I think that hoteliers are realizing about the massive opportunity of this project, and this is going to grow exponentially in the next few years, for sure.
Case.
Thanks, Adrian. Really impressive. And I can connect a lot to it, especially that I come in the online distribution part, in the last part. But you mentioned before about the technology, and the technology needed to support online distribution is totally different than the technology needed to support. How you are assuring your technology can scale to accommodate with that level?
That's a very good point. We already have an API to distribute content, and as a first step, we have partnered up with a travel agency in the US, which is called Fora, one of the trendiest travel agencies. And for them, what we have done is to put a white label with all our content where their travel advisors can go, book our experiences when they put a package together for their clients, and then this is how we manage the commissions. But let's say in the medium term, the API would be like crucial, and this is a new project that we're kind of like starting to develop as we speak.
Roger?
What's the booking window here? Is it part of a connected trip, or is it very last minute, which I suspect it is?
Well, think that this is for locals. So again, it really depends on the moment, no? Where do they want to go? In case of, for example, travelers that are staying in a city and they want to go to a hotel, is normally, let's say, a few days before. I say, hey, we can go to a hotel by the sea and enjoy an all-inclusive day pass. So it happens normally with 48 hours. When we are talking about gifting, which is massive for us, is 60% of our sales are gifts. That happens, in key moments like Christmas, Mother's Day, where we have like a massive peak of sales. And another important point about gifting is that 60% of our sales are gifts, but that 20% are never used. So that has a huge impact in our revenue. And also for hotels, they are forgetting that a big chunk of all the experiences sold as gifts are never used. So it's a no-brainer. They have to do it yes or yes.
Thank you. And just one other follow-up. You've got HBX on there as a supplier, but you haven't got web beds. Give me a call later.
Well, they are in Mallorca like me, so we're lucky to be based in Mallorca.
All right, Stephen, one more question.
This is a winner-take-all market. You said, I did not see on the competitor side Resort Pass that has had a very big go-to-market in the States.
Yep.
So how are you gonna beat them?
That's a very good point. We spoke to Michael several times. The main difference between Resort Pass and us is that they are mainly focused on reservations for a specific day, so they are all about day pass. And the main difference is about the white label solution that has a lot of functionalities, so the white label solution that we offer. But we are open to collaborate with them, or if we go to the States.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Adrian.
you.
Well done. Last presenter today, we have Irfan Izzwandy from Neoma. Irfan, take the stage.
Let's do this.
Thank you.
Green button.
Give it a...
Let's do this.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Irfan Izzwandy, Head of Products at Neoma. And today I'll be presenting to you on Gaia, an automation platform for seamless operations and world-class experiences. So what is a good experience? A good experience requires 5 attributes. You need to engage with me, hear me, delight me, empower me, and know me. The issue with this is that operations is limited by the ability for operations to access customer data in real time. On top of that, staff turnover costs more than $6,000 per staff per year, meaning that the more operations are manual, the more it affects the bottom line and the overall customer experience. So our mission is to provide seamless operations and world-class journeys at scale. Here you can see that with what we've done for the FIFA World Cup in Qatar, we helped them gain insights for all their VIP and guests through their whole journey. We've deployed across 155 locations, including the FIFA World Cup, Region, Grand Hyatt, and Peninsula. And we've helped them save $120 million yearly through our automated workflows. We've created 600,000 guest journeys, and we've won 9 awards as such from Accor and Peninsula. So Gaia is an automation platform that uses AI and computer vision to streamline operational workflows and deliver world-class experiences at scale. We have patents in the US and other countries, and there are 3 components. First, it's a Gaia staff app, which works as an AI assistant for staff to provide servicing insights. Second, there are the Gaia connectors, which are able to connect to a wide range of data points such as PMS and POS, and physical touch points like CCTV cameras and Bluetooth keycards. Lastly, we have the Gaia platform, where clients can automate their workflows and measure KPIs. Let's have a look at a demo. I think the sound isn't playing. Yep, thank you. So AI for human-centric experiences is what the Gaia platform is all about. Here you can see Ms. Louis is approaching the staff counter while he gets a name, booking and insights automatically. Like a red carpet rolled out in front of you each time you engage with a staff. The guest is detected within 5 meters via CCTV cameras or 10 to 20 meters via Bluetooth keycards. We've worked with Singapore Institute of Technology, Department of Hospitality to launch Gaia Pulse, our latest product, an AI assistant to help staff streamline their workflows and gain efficiency, such as replying customer complaints and to summarize itineraries and preferences. So how does Gaia create value? On productivity, we save around $3,000 per staff per year. On sales and satisfaction, up to 15% and 45% due to our personalized journeys. So here's our key client, FIFA World Cup, where we help them to digitize and automate their VVIP experiences through all airports, transports, hotels, and stadiums. We clipped a BLE tag onto the lanyard where the staff can recognize them within 10 meters. Here's what the FIFA staff sees in their account, the profiles of guests approaching them, and insights like any raised issues. The market is worth more than $50 billion, and it continues to grow with the growing importance of high-touch experiences and seamless operations. Here's my leadership. Here's an overview of our leadership team led by Antima and Francois. Thank you very much for your time.
Well done, Irfan. Dragons? Lots of red. Who wants to start? A couple of revolvers. Maybe Cara.
I'm torn because I think it's interesting, but I feel like there's a massive adoption challenge. Can you walk me through how you get people to participate in this? Because looking at the screens there, I'm just thinking like, I can't imagine a lot of, and I imagine it differs by region too, culturally and whatnot. Yeah. Can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, I think that is our main challenge. Firstly, we need to educate clients on how to integrate their current infrastructure to allow for this automated recognition of guests. And secondly, the next challenge would be to get the consent from these guests. But most of the time, they would, for VIPs, our adoption rate is around 90% for consent. Yeah.
Case?
Yeah, actually, following up on the adoption, you look at it from a customer point of view, I look at it from a corporate point of view. Most of the hotels and airports have their own ERPs and CRMs. We discussed a lot the legacy technology. And it seems that you are offering an end-to-end tool. You don't have a kind of hybrid solution that sits on top of the existing CRMs that the hotels have.
So I couldn't really understand. Can you repeat?
So your solution is an end-to-end solution. I buy a tool, subscribe, and I use it. But the challenge that you will face in the adoption when it comes to hotels, they already have a CRM, which you will face a challenge integrating this.
Yes.
How you are planning to tackle this issue?
Yes, so like I mentioned on the presentation, the Gaia Connectors is able to connect to a wide range of data points. So we have partnered with Opera, for example, from Oracle to link up with hotels. So I understand that what you're asking is how can we integrate with other existing CRMs. So as long as those vendors have APIs, we can call the data and receive the customer information to provide insights. Yeah.
Roger or Stephen?
I went onto your website this morning and it took me 10 or 15 minutes to work out what you do. And, you know, I have a strong feeling it's got to roll off your tongue and be instantly visible. So if there's one piece of advice I have, think about your website.
Stephen?
I want to give you a lot of credit for coming up here, particularly as a product manager and not as the CEO of the company, pinch hitting. So kudos to you, Irfan, for facing the dragons and stepping into the den. I share the privacy concerns because oftentimes when I'm at a hotel, I like discretion. I don't need people knowing what I'm up to when I'm at a hotel. And I think privacy regulations. I think privacy regulations remain this very choppy field. I didn't get to hear as much during the presentation on the team. Do you want to take the 15 seconds left to talk about the great credentials they have?
Yeah. So can you hear me bring it up? Yeah. So our co-founder and the CTO, Antima, who is based in India. So she's the one who is mainly managing the software engineering team, and while Francois and Rebecca are mainly the ones handling sales. Yeah. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Irfan. Well done. So the fifth presenter is the host company from North America. So the host company wasn't able to make it today. A huge thanks to the Dragons. Let's give them a round of applause. As well as the amazing judges that helped us all along the way. Very importantly, everybody needs to scan this QR code because now is your opportunity to vote on your favorite of the 4 scale-ups that presented. So scan this QR code, vote for Autio, Flapper, Hotel Treats, or Neoma. Everyone good? So the winner of the scale-up competition will win a 5-minute presentation slot on the Phocuswright Conference stage. So that comes up again in November. And I'd like to thank Stephen and JetBlue Ventures for their support 3 years in a row supporting the Global Startup Pitch. So thank you so much, Stephen. And thanks, everyone, for participating. Over to you, Suhoon, so I don't get in trouble this time. Let's get off the stage.
Right, they're ready now. Let the show begin. Next generation for the win. We're going all in. Take center stage now.